Level 1. You are 27 years old, sitting in a one-bedroom apartment at 11:43 p.m., refreshing an investment app that barely moved all month. Your portfolio is worth $14,682. Not fake net worth numbers, actual invested money. And every time you hear people online talk about financial freedom, it feels like they're speaking from another planet entirely. Because right now, after rent, groceries, insurance, and one unexpected expense, you're lucky if you have anything left to invest at all. Then something changes. Not $1 million. Not a viral business. Not some magical stock pick. You reach the point where you can consistently invest $1,000 every single month. And almost nobody understands what really happens at that level. Because at first, it doesn't look impressive. Your life still looks normal from the outside. Same apartment, same car, same job. But financially, you have quietly crossed one of the most important portfolio inflection points in modern wealth building. If you find contents like this interesting, hit the like button and hit subscribe so you don't miss the next video. At this level, the most important move is not picking the perfect stock. It's creating enough financial breathing room to survive long enough for compounding to matter. Most people completely miss that. They think level 1 investors fail because they chose the wrong ETF or entered the market at the wrong time. Usually, they fail because life interrupts the process before the process has time to work. One medical bill, one layoff, one car repair, and suddenly the automated contribution disappears. That's why the difference between level 1 and level 2 is not income. It's behavioral consistency. The person investing $1,000 every month has usually built systems most people never see. Automatic transfers, controlled lifestyle inflation, a cash reserve large enough to absorb chaos without shutting down the investment engine. From the outside, nothing about this looks exciting. Same clothes, same apartment, same routine. But internally, something critical has happened. Their portfolio is no longer depending on motivation to grow. Level 3 is where the psychology starts changing before the numbers do. You're still not wealthy. Your life still looks painfully average from the outside. But now your investment account survives bad months without collapsing. You stop checking market crashes every 15 minutes because your automated contribution threshold keeps buying anyway. Then comes level 4. This is where the first real foundation appears. At $1,000 invested monthly, you are deploying $12,000 per year into assets that continue working while you sleep, commute, or waste time scrolling online. And once portfolio growth combines with consistent capital allocation efficiency, the math quietly starts accelerating underneath you. This is where most people stall. Not because they're incapable, because this stage feels emotionally unrewarding. Your friends upgrading apartments and financing luxury cars look richer than you. Meanwhile, your wealth is mostly invisible. But what's changed internally is massive. You are no longer consuming every dollar your future self will eventually need to survive. Level 5 is different. Not because the number suddenly looks impressive, because the mechanics of wealth finally begin working in your favor instead of against you. At $1,000 invested monthly, a portfolio earning historical market level returns can start generating hundreds of dollars monthly without additional labor. Not enough to retire, not enough to quit your job, but enough to create psychological separation from survival mode. And that changes behavior permanently. For the first time, doing nothing intelligently becomes financially productive. Your portfolio grows while you're asleep, while you're sick, while you take a vacation. Most people who reach this level don't even realize what happened because externally, their lifestyle still appears normal. But internally, the relationship with money changes completely. Every future contribution now compounds on top of an already moving system. The portfolio inflection point has activated. And from here forward, time starts becoming more valuable than effort alone, which is where wealth building quietly becomes self-sustaining. By level 6, the portfolio starts behaving less like a savings account and more like a second worker quietly attached to your life. The math becomes partially self-sustaining. Market growth, dividends, and recurring contributions begin stacking on top of each other with increasing speed. But the real shift at this level is psychological. You stop asking, can I afford this? and start asking, what does this purchase cost in my future cash flow? That question changes everything. People operating at this stage think differently about cars, apartments, subscriptions, and status purchases because every dollar now has visible compounding potential attached to it. Then level 7 arrives. This is where investing $1,000 monthly no longer feels difficult because income growth and behavioral compounding have aligned. The signals become obvious. Low financial panic, high liquidity, controlled lifestyle inflation, and long-term thinking replacing emotional decision-making. Most people never reach this phase because they abandon the system during the boring years before acceleration becomes visible. At the highest levels, the rules that built your first $100,000 stop being the rules that preserve and multiply millions. Early on, success came from contribution rate, discipline, and behavioral consistency. But once the portfolio reaches escape velocity, entirely different problems appear. Tax optimization, asset protection, capital allocation efficiency, debt-free leverage, institutional access. Suddenly, wealthy people are not trying to maximize income anymore. They're trying to maximize optionality and minimize unnecessary risk exposure. And this is the part most people misunderstand completely. The people who eventually build serious wealth rarely become reckless as their portfolios grow. They become more selective, more patient, more protective of time. Because by this level, every bad decision carries a massive opportunity cost. The investor contributing $1,000 monthly today is not just building a portfolio. They are building the operating system required to handle larger amounts of money later. Most people never reach these levels because they never stop thinking with level 1 survival psychology. So where are you actually right now? Not based on salary, not based on job title, not based on the lifestyle you post online, based on behavior. Level 1 behavior looks like spending first and investing whatever survives a month. Level 2 behavior looks like automating contributions even when motivation disappears. Level 3 behavior looks like protecting consistency during financial stress instead of pausing the system every time life gets uncomfortable. And level 4 behavior? That's when your investments begin influencing decisions before purchases happen. The person investing $1,000 monthly usually operates differently long before they become visibly wealthy. They think in decades. They calculate opportunity cost automatically. They understand that small recurring decisions matter more than occasional bursts of motivation. That's the real identity shift. Because wealth is rarely built through one giant move. It's built when your default behavior permanently changes. Your portfolio balance matters less than the question your habits answer every month. Are you consuming your future or funding it? If you want to move from wherever you are financially to the next level, there is one thing that matters more than almost anything else right now. Not stock picking, not timing the market, not finding some secret passive income loophole online. Increase the amount automatically invested every single month until your portfolio begins compounding faster than your lifestyle inflates. That's the move. For some people, the next level starts at $200 monthly. For others, it's $500. But at $1,000 invested consistently every month, your financial identity changes permanently because your future stops depending entirely on your labor alone. And the most important part? Nobody can see this happening while it's building. The early years look boring, quiet, almost invisible. Then suddenly, the acceleration becomes undeniable. So start now. Increase the automated contribution. Protect it aggressively. And subscribe, because the people who master this phase early are the same people everyone else calls lucky 10 years later.